So today is the evergreen subject, why love alone is not enough. I think you probably have heard me say this several times that love is one of the most misunderstood words we use. We speak about it very often. We celebrate it, including in the movies and songs. We long for it in our lives. And yet, many relationships collapse not because love is absent, because love is misunderstood. Or at the very least, the expression of love is misunderstood. See, the thing is, love alone is not enough. Not because love is weak or it's less than something, not because love is not, I would say, important, but I would say because love is not the same as safety. And without safety, the human nervous system cannot express itself fully in a balanced state. Love, by the way, is not attachment, even though at first they can feel very similar. Attachment seeks a continuous reassurance. Attachment comes from a place of fearing loss. I don't want to lose him or her. Love, on the other hand, when it is fully embodied, offers a safe presence. It allows freedom. Attachment activates vigilance in the nervous system. Oh my God, I need to hold on to this person. I'm so attached and I need to miss them when I'm not with them. Love reduces the vigilance. When you feel safe, you feel less vigilant. This is why so many relationships feel intense but not restful, like you're exhausted after a date instead of feeling rested and nurtured. Intensity excites the mind, safety calms the body. Love is not about how strongly you feel, it is how safe the body feels over time. Most people are taught to look for chemistry, they're taught to look for a spark, they're taught to look for a pull, they're taught to look for an emotional high. And chemistry is real. But chemistry alone does not build a life. Sure, chemistry activates arousal at various levels, but it does not create a sense of regulation, which is core to safety. Two people, in that sense, can love each other deeply and still exhaust one another, eventually leading to burnout and all sorts of mental health conditions and physiological conditions. I've seen many cases like that in my practice. Because love without a compatibility of coherence of the regulation becomes eventually a strain and exhaustion. And let me clarify one thing what I'm saying. I'm not saying it becomes drama. I'm not saying it becomes conflict. I'm saying it becomes a stress and strain because deep down, your nervous system or your regulation of the nervous system is keep asking one simple question. Am I safe here? Not emotionally safe, not morally safe. A deeper question of, do I feel physiologically safe? Do I feel safe as my whole self? Let me come at this question differently. The system asks, can I breathe here? Can I rest here? Can I be myself without vigilance, without feeling like I'm walking on eggshells? When the answer to even one of these is no, the body fundamentally stays alert, even in love. Therefore, over time, love becomes an effort, a project. I've seen this across cultures, across relationships, across different types of inner work people have been doing. As a monk, I saw how little love needs to survive, but how much safety it requires to truly deepen. As a leader, I saw how people carry their unregulated nervous system into relationships where they have intimacy of different levels. As a neuroscientist, I've seen how the body never lies about connection. How you feel in presence of another person tells you truly what's going on. Your mind may try to justify, the heart may hope with longing, but basically, in embodiment, your body will always know. The body knows before the mind where something is truly nurturing safe love. The chemistry excites the brain, sure, but it's that regulation that calms the body. True connection reduces vigilance, not just loneliness or emptiness of being by yourself. See, if you have to perform in a relationship, if you have to constantly manage to be self expressed or constantly explain yourself for who you are being, that means your body is not at rest. And without rest, the love, or what we call love, will not deepen. If the body can ground in safety, love may be present. It's a necessary condition, but not sufficient. And that is really why many relationships fail. Not during conflict, but during calm. Because when the intensity or the high of the conflict or arousal of different kind fades, what remains is regulation or its absence. The absence of regulation can feel like boredom and a downward spiral of apathy. Presence of regulation can feel like nurturing, safety. Love is revealed in that sense in ordinary moments, sometimes in silence, sometimes in disagreement that do not become conflict, sometimes in growth that feels challenging but makes you a better person. So, the question I always ask is, in a relationship, can you change without fear? Can you disagree without feeling threat or feeling or threatening the other? Can you rest without having to disconnect and totally disappear from them? Now, I know I recognize these are not romantic questions. These are ontological ones, even biological ones. See, what I'm trying to say is love is not intensity sustained. Love is safety maintained over time. Where there is love, true love, nothing needs to be defended. Where there is safety, inner growth and unfoldment becomes possible. And when growth is possible, love actually matures. So it's a positive cycle. And to that extent, I have to admit that love is not what most excites you. It's what that allows you to exhale. So if you can be at peace, love may be present. And if love is present, it will not need to convince you, I am here, I'm here. It will feel like home, like the warm embrace of home. I remember my mentor once said, I travel so far to know that I am home. At home in love with who I am becoming, the life I'm creating, and those I want to share it with. Let me leave you with that thought.